Okay, hello. This is my second YouTube video, and the date is 23 Feb, and the time is 7 p.m. as a proof. So basically, today's video and the videos after this are the main thread of my YouTube channel. In these videos, I'm going to be discussing my movies idea that I had from the age of 13, 14 till now. These are my ideas. These are not copied or anything. These are my genuine ideas that I don't have time to implement or turn them into stories or scripts because, as I said, I don't have time. So basically, my motive was that I just want my ideas to be out there on the internet. Of course, not many people watch my video, but if somebody stumbles upon these types of video, and basically if they want to use the video, they have the time and resources to convert these into a script, perhaps a story. So the ideas are all yours. So there you go. Okay, so the first idea that I would be discussing is called Beyond That Door by Ridhima Vajpayee. And this sort of idea I got from a mixture of two or three dreams that I had, but because I'm dramatic, I turned them into a very horrifying story. And if you can't visualize how this movie is going to be, I would suggest you to watch, for reference, this movie. It's on YouTube, it's a short film called Portrait of God, directed by Dylan Clark. You can just search on YouTube. And also, the vibe and the essence of the movie mainly comes from the song called Yes, I'm Changing by Tame Impala. There is a line called Go walk beyond that door. There is a world calling out for you. So basically, that's where I get my movie title from, Beyond That Door. And this movie genre could be dream core SQ with fearsome fuel. It's kind of like a nightmarish, horrifying movie, but it doesn't actually tackle the concept of ghost and ghouls. But yeah, it is pretty horrifying because this movie does contains gore and all. I mean, it's just idea. I'm being far fetched, and also the sort of condoning feeling. This movie doesn't have a main character, but it does have a centerpiece, whom I will be calling human because I don't have a name yet. And basically, it just shows the infiltrating of of the human subconscious mind, kind of like the movie Inception, on how the main character is affected. Sort of this would happen in this one too. So I'm gonna go towards the idea now. So the movie starts as there is a dark room, and when the room is dark, you can't really make out anything. But then slowly and steadily, you can make out the silhouettes and figure in the dark. So a dark room, it fades in. We see a creature, appears to be a human. It has human skin, a mouth, a face, hands, legs, same as human. In the darkness, standing over a sleeping figure on the bed. The said figure, the sleeping figure, will call, as I said, human, is asleep on their stomach, lying on their stomach. It appears that human is visually distressed in their somber. Like there is a distressed look on their faces when they're sleeping, and they're trying to wake up from their slumber. Then we see the faces of both the figures simultaneously, and they are identical. So, as a human wakes up, they're confused because they're lying on. They can see all around their room. They have a view of 360, even though their face is mushed between pillars. So obviously they're confused. So they try to move, but they can't. It's sort of like sleep paralysis. And the human slowly starts to get aware of the figure standing next to their bed. They're shocked to see that the unknown figure is a look-alike. They're basically identical. So obviously, a human is freaked out because how someone who looks like them is standing right next to their bed. Before they can process, we hear a creak break through, and both of the creature attention is drawn towards the bed. And as like in the midst of it, in the horror movies, when the body is possessed, they sort of hitch into the air. Same thing happens here. Human is hitched into the air towards the ceiling as they're floating in the air. Now our main character human is in the air. He can see both of the creature now. So we'll call our first figure that we see as creature one and the second figure creature two. So human's eye darts from one creature to another. Our first creature is scared too because the latter creature जो हमें बेड के नीचे दिखा था, that creature whimpers in pain and agony. The second creature is also a lookalike, but this one has been through hell, dipped in molten lava of hell because it's just a bleeding mess. So, how does that creature look like? I have some reference images. Again, trigger warning, blood and gore. So, if you know the artwork called Blood Eagle, like the lungs out, basically that's what I had in mind for the creature. See, I don't have a visual idea, but I have some pieces here and there. This is how the creature is going to be. I don't think so. Yeah, it's visible. Like, sorry, that's mass realism. Basically, their body is open. They're like an open casket of bones and mush and blood. So, exactly, this happened. The creature is disfigured and is whimpering in pain. It's like an open casket of mushed organs and blood, blah blah blah. Like a feast open for devil. So it's very gore and very horrifying. And then our human is basically still in the F, and then a sudden free fall plunges our human into that pool of blood and gore, and the scene cuts. Basically, we see the human going to that, and the scene is ended with a bright red light. That's it. That's our scene one. And then I actually haven't thought about what happens after they wake up. I mean, I'm just showing the main character waking up, realizing that, oh, it was a bad dream. Then they do random stuff throughout the day, blah, blah, blah. Then we skip to night, and it's a similar setup. The same scene follows through. Like the same thing happens. They see the first creature, then second, then the flotation thing happened. And then now this is our second part of the dream. Now, again, our main creature wakes up and they found themselves in sort of a dark alleyway, and there is a red door, and then a lot of red doors appear, and they count it's seven red doors. Then the same creature from previous night appears, or is it the same creature? Because we already saw first creature, second creature. So now this is the third creature, and I actually haven't thought completely of what these creatures would look like. Obviously, their faces are the same, but I'm thinking that their dresses would signify something. For example, the first creature is wearing an outfit, but it's filled with eyes, like biblical eyes. The second creature, as we saw, they were naked and they were just open like a casket. So that's different. The third creature would be wearing something with symbols. So there is a lot of symbolization here. Anyways, so basically, the third creature we see now, they explain to our main human, like, what's the deal. So they explain the purpose of the doors. So basically, there are seven doors. Each door has a different type of fear behind them, of like which is related to human. So basically, but only one door out of seven, only one has sort of the best life, sort of a look into the future, the best they had in the past, and of the good things to come, of the good things that happen. So basically, one door has all of this life aspect behind that door. So if our human can directly track down that door, so it's easy for them. They can escape this dream hell. But if they can't, and if they rather open the other six doors, basically probability and combination goes wrong, then they'll see obviously their worst nightmare, their fears, their sadness, everything. So this is the main idea, and this is where sort of it stops, because I don't know. I haven't written many much things, so I'm just going to jump to conclusion. So that's where it ended. Then we switch on to the next morning. Now, as I said, this is not a full script, so I'm just going to give you the main plot line. So there it goes. So we are gonna race to the conclusion now. But as I said, in the middle, so they wake up and oh, they're like, oh, it's a bad dream. And the days follow through. I haven't written that part, what happens during the day. But basically, there are some hidden things, which is basically, for example, human has gotten a new job offer into the other state, but because their mother is sick, they don't really want to take up the offer, even though that offer is better for them, better pay, better time, better opportunities. So that's one thing. And the second thing would be, for example, They have a fear of fire, they have a fear of heights, they have a fear of losing someone, and all that. So those are the minimalistic things. uh, Again, the night falls and we see the same thing happening the day before in same order. Basically, it's the same footage. And then again, but now when they sleep, the dream progress into the next type of scene, which is our scene number two. Then a human wakes up and realizes, in the dream they wake up and realize that they're back again, and they are in front of a door. It's a red door. Or then, like, basically the light falls upon, that dramatic scene, and he counts and there are seven doors. And again, one more creature appears. Now this is our creature number three. Now, as I said, they all look alike, but how can you distinguish them is by, because they would be wearing a particular kind of clothes, basically same type of clothes. I'm imagining a white, so like a white kurta, but like with no embroidery, nothing, just a white plain blanched cloth, but it would have some symbols. So a creature one would have eyes on it, creature two would have fire on it, creature three would have something different on it. They're all a part of symbolization, but as I said, I haven't worked it enough. If I think about something else, I might add into it, but for now, it's just plain old symbolization. So as I said, now third cre- our third creature explains to human the purpose of the seven doors. So he explains that out of these seven doors, there is only one door, which is like the door you have to go through. Now, that door has your best life beyond it. So, basically, a life which is so pure, so fun, so happening, so happy, so deliberately put together that it could be your best life. It could be a look into a future of the best future. It could be all the happiness that you had in the past. So it's just basically a good door out of that seven door. But the rest six of them are, for example, one would have your biggest fear behind it, the other would have your sadness moment in your life, but you have to manage to find that door. So if you find that door, then if you find that your first door, which is basically your happy door, then it's all over. You won't get these dreams. But if you don't, then you have to go through each and every door till you make it to your best door and then live through that. So the humans decide that okay, they have to, because they can't escape, because they would keep dreaming and dreaming and dreaming. So they test the door. Our human, our main character, test the door. So they're basically checking like what's difference. There must be a difference because they, as I said, they all look alike. All the red doors look alike. There is no difference. So they try to hear what's behind the door. They try to budge it with their hands. So as they're doing it, they come across a door. Our human comes across a door which can't, like, which is a little more denser than the rest of them, because when he's pushing into the door it's not budging, because whenever you push a door it budges a little bit, right? So he thinks, okay, this may be my happy door because it's different than others. So he's trying to push it in, but there is a thing behind that door that's pushing it back, that's resisting the door to open. So a human pushes the door and makes the way into it. And then he sees creature number four. And that creature is wailing and crying in pain. It has like blood scars all over them. So the fourth creature that we see now screams at human, like, why did you open this door? I was resisting the door from that side so that you can't enter. But now that you have entered, you have to live through your fears. So that door is a fear door. And then the creature is a human is obviously distressed. They have to live through their, like, basically they have a fear of fire, fear of darkness, fear. So basically that sort of thing happens and they come out and they just fell to their knees because they're so tired, so out of out of touch of reality, because they're so tired, so tensed, their energy is sucked out because they had to live through all of their fears. So again, our creature number three that gives instruction come along. They take their hand and they instruct our human, like, now sleep, come back again. So again, the human sleeps, they wake up, the day's gone on, and the same thing happens at night, that hitching thing, everything. And again, we come to the point of night. Then again, second night they open the door, it's not their happy door, they have to again live through their sad moments. And third day comes. By the fourth day, because this goes on for a week, so basically the number 7 is very significant here. 7 doors, 7 creatures, 7 days. So around the fourth day, now they're scared because they're like, nothing good is happening. They're very tired, they're very scared, they're like, they don't want to do this anymore. So now they resist sleeping. They don't eat well because they're so tense. They stop eating well, they stop sleeping well. So basically, their health is obviously plunging into sort of like a downfall. And again, we see, but then again, as I said, I haven't written what happens during the day, so anyone can join in and make it more interesting. But then that happens, they're resisting, but obviously they have to sleep. And when they sleep, they dream again. And now only 3 doors are left, and they choose again. Now, you know, there is a part in everyone's life when you forget a part of your life, when you forget that, oh, these women existed, because your brain suppresses it. So, our fifth door is that type of door. So, when the human enters the door and live through that, they see the part which they suppressed, basically, the bullying they had in the school, the sadness because when they were left alone, they were neglected. They see that. And again, I haven't written a full-fledged story about it, but anything could be yours. You can write anything and make it your own. And so those sort of things happen. And as I said, I haven't written a full story, but because I left out creature number fifth, sixth, and seventh. But basically, behind every door, they have a creature and all. So that happens. And now it's time to, showcase my last scene, which goes something like this. Again, a human is sitting, it's their last day, they're tired, they're emotionally drained, mentally drained, physically drained, spiritually drained, religiously drained, and they just want this dream blunt rotation to get over. So again, our creature number 3 comes again. They're like, that's your happy door. You have to walk through it. But then the human is like, I don't want to, walk through that door. Why? Because they have seen all the sadness that happened to them, all the happiness, all their fears. Now they just don't feel anything anymore. They don't know how will they live throughout, live beyond this thing. So our creature number 3 explains that we all are a part of your subconscious. We showed you this to make your life better. So again, they take a human, they make him walk through that door. And once he enters that door, there is nothing. There is again the same dark alley with the same 7 red doors. That's where our movie ends. Now, the now into the conclusion or explanation of the movie, because I feel like it's needed because not many people would get the symbolization. So basically, what happens is sometimes what happens in your past gives you a better context to the story than anything that will ever happen in the future. It provides a sense of gravitas to all sorts of things, all sorts of pages that are going to happen with you, and with your mindset. And for fear, because fear makes an excellent motivator. Fear is necessary for growth and adaptation, also for your own purity of your soul, because nothing can cure your soul except for you yourself abandoning yourself to that sensation. So that's my idea. I hope someone makes a bomb ass film because the idea is unique and wonderful, obviously. But then again, it's a far fetched thing. I just want this idea to be out. Anyways, that's my idea. Bye.